Don't forget to subscribe to my channel Safra Korea and hit the bell icon for regular notification. Today I'm going to prepare a new recipe which is the mutton chops, and here is around 600 grams of mutton chops, and I'm going to add some salt in this. So all the measurements are mentioned below in the description box, so you can refer to that. Salt as per your taste, and some turmeric powder, around quarter teaspoon of turmeric powder, and ginger garlic paste, around 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste, and some onions which are cut. So this is around 1 medium sized onion, and I'm going to add the star anise, the masala, and 2 cardamom. So if you have the black cardamom, you can add that one, and cinnamon, 2 sticks. And this I'm just going to cut it into smaller pieces, and the fresh spices, it adds a different flavor altogether to your cooking, especially when you're cooking it. And later while marinating it and all, you can add the garam masala. So we have added the spices in this, and we'll add some water. So this is not supposed to be overcooked, like the meat is not supposed to shred out like how we cook the normal curry pieces. We cook it completely 100%, but this is just supposed to be cooked around 80%, 70 to 80%, because after that we are going to fry it, and this is just to make the meat tender and for it not to remain raw. So I'm going to light the gas and keep it on high flame, and I'm just going to mix this. You can use a spoon, but I'm using my fingers because it can be mixed quickly and all the masala will get spread out evenly. So I'm using my fingers to mix this. Give it a good mix, so all the spices, the turmeric powder and the salt which I have added get spread out evenly. And this we are going to cook it for 35 minutes, 30 to 35 minutes, and don't add too much of water. And after 35 minutes, this stuff is just supposed to be dried up completely. You're not supposed to separate the broth out of this, but all the pieces after some time, around 30 to 35 minutes, it's supposed to be completely dry. So I've kept it on high flame and I'm going to cover it, and in some time, after 5 minutes, I'm just going to decrease the flame and keep it on medium. Yes, you can also add 2 more ingredients to this, that is the ghee, which adds completely different flavor. It's a dairy fat, so it gives a completely different flavor to the stuff that you prepare. Clarified butter, so I've added around 1 teaspoon of clarified butter. So I normally use the cow's ghee because I prefer that. I find it much tastier, but you can add any sort of clarified butter, ghee, to the stuff that you prepare. And you can add freshly cut coriander leaves into this. Also you can add some coriander powder. So I've added some coriander powder in this. Yes, later on after it cooks we'll add all the other spices like the cumin powder and pepper powder and all that stuff. So I'll just give this a good mix. Just let me mix this well, and after 10 to 15 minutes I'll just have a look at this. Till then just keep it covered with this lid for 30 to 35 minutes. It started boiling, so I'll just decrease the flame and keep it on medium. Yes, so it's almost 40 minutes cooking on medium flame, medium to high flame. It depends, 30 to 40 minutes need to cook it. And in between just check whether the meat is tender. It should not be hard and tough, like not raw but not overcooked also, where the meat starts shredding. So when it starts shredding, it's not possible to fry it. So it's just supposed to be just tender, just have a check like this. So the meat is cooked, and let all the water evaporate, let it be completely dry. And also while cooking it, you're not supposed to add excess quantity of water, because it will get overcooked. So every 10 minutes I've been keeping a watch on this and just turning this chops, making it upside down so that it gets cooked evenly and from both the sides. And now since it's dry, I'm going to put the gas off and let it cool down by itself for 20 minutes. And once it comes to room temperature, we are going to marinate it for 2 to 3 hours. So I've put the gas off and let it be open like this and let it cool down by itself. So it's cooled down. I kept it aside for almost 20 minutes, and now we are going to marinate it. I'm going to add yogurt. So this is nice, creamy, thick curds, which is homemade, which I prepared, and I make this with full fat milk. So you can see it's nice and thick with all the cream in it. So this is just what you call the hung curds, where the water is separated and you only get the thick curds. So when you want to prepare such thick curds, you should make it with the full fat milk. And I've added some curds, so let me see. If I fall short, I will just add later on. And I'll add the spices. I'm going to add some cumin powder for this. All the measurements and all the ingredients will all be mentioned in the description box below, so you can refer to that. And some garam masala, a little bit of it, and if required you can add salt. So I've already added sufficient quantity of salt while cooking it, while boiling it, so I'm not going to add. Maybe I'll just add a pinch of salt. I've added pepper powder. This pepper powder is freshly ground, so if you want to get the best aroma out of your spices, then you need to freshly grind them before adding it. So I'll add just a little bit, pinch of salt, not much, and give this a good mix. I'll add a little yogurt, and this marinade, you're supposed to keep it aside for almost 2 to 3 hours. So you can see it's mixed well into a nice homogeneous mix. So this gets marinated well. All the masala and whatever spices we have added should get into this meat well, penetrate into the meat. And I prefer using my fingers because you can mix it very well and give a good coating and give it a good nice even mix. So I'm going to keep this aside for it to marinate. Just cover it and keep it aside, and then we will fry it. So it's marinated for almost 2.5 hours, and so now I'll prepare the batter for frying this. For the batter, add around 1 teaspoon of corn flour and just add a pinch of salt in this. So we have already added the salt while cooking and the marinade, so we don't want this too salty. I just added a pinch of it and add around 1/4 cup of milk, lesser than 1/4 cup, and we'll add an egg. Add 2 eggs. And mix it into a nice good batter. Add little bit of milk, almost 1/4 cup of milk supposed to add. I'm going to add just a little bit, just crush it and add it some kasuri methi to this. You can also add it during the marination or afterwards. It will add to the flavor. A little bit of it. This is dry fenugreek leaves. You switch on the gas and let it be on high heat. So add sufficient quantity of oil because these chops should not get stuck on this pan, and they should have sufficient quantity of oil to get crispy and cooked well. So add sufficient quantity of oil, and once the oil is heated up, I am using coconut oil, so it gets heated up quickly. I use coconut oil in all my cooking. So I am going to take each chop and dip it into this batter which I have prepared, and I'm going to fry it. And add each chop, let it not be too crowded, the pan. So you're supposed to add sufficient quantity of oil and also fry it on medium heat, not low heat but medium heat. And I'll add 1 to 2 tablespoons extra. And after some time I'll turn it. So I'll just turn it and have a look how well it's getting fried. Yes, let it continue to fry on medium to low flame, and I'm going to remove it and serve it. When it is fried in coconut oil is healthy fat, healthy oil. So I don't use a paper napkin to drain the oil. So you don't have to worry if there is excess oil being used, and you don't have to drain off the oil. This will become nice and crispy. So this is ready, the mutton chops, and they look so tempting and yummy. In fact, these chops would have been much crispier if it was cut half. Like you can see the two bones over here, they are quite thick, the pieces, and if they were single cut, the chops, then this would have been much more crispy. So if you're planning to make this, then definitely at the meat shop you have to insist that the chops are single cut and into a thin layer. Like you can see, these bones are two. If they're single cut, this chops will turn out 100% yummy and like the best. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and try out the recipes that I upload, and definitely you will like my preparation because I upload lot of stuff and lot of variety, veg and non-veg recipes. And this recipe of mine, the mutton chops, definitely you will like it. It's a nice starter that one will enjoy eating, and it's a delicacy. So definitely, you have to be little patient enough in preparing this mutton chops, because it's time consuming in the preparation, and also you need a lot of patience while frying it, and also prior to that in the cooking. So guys, subscribe to my channel for more updates, and bye bye. I'll see you all in my more upcoming videos.